This is Jimmy James saying, this is me talking about Spotify plus a lot of other weird little drops that I put in. Honestly, you might have heard some of them, but they're short. Anyway, this is me talking about Spotify and the upcoming effects and all that. I wanted to add that in now before you hear it after the first part. Should have really named this show Spotify plus fuck ups. Anyway, yeah, keep listening. Fuck.
Hello there, family and friends, friends that are family and family that are friends. This is Eddie with the TBD Network, also the TBD Podcast Network. The TBD Network is a thinkers podcast covering subjects and ideas that can advance the mental fortitude and critical thinking in an effort to further humanity through casual conversation. But right now, you are listening to the Jimmy James Show, A to Z. Have a good one.
Oh, thank you.
This is the Jimmy James Show A to Z. Come find out what is wrong with me.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jimmy James, the host of the Jimmy James Show. I'm the creator, co-founder, founder, president, vice president, custodian, coffee drinker, cigarette smoker, pipe licker, and creator, or I'm the creator, it's like, whatever, dude. You know who the fuck you are. You just clicked on you. It is now time to explain to people just what's wrong with me. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jimmy James, and I am here to tell you something that normally, I guess, I would just, have the bot read to you guys, which I did have set up, but I'm going to tell you myself. So, I was in the middle of making a show. It was 8:30 p.m. I figured I'd be done by 9:30, 10 o'clock the latest. It is now 10:23, about 10:24 exactly. I was about to say that. So I wanted to get to the part where it was mentioning, if you do Spotify for podcasting, then you know what I'm talking about monetized ads and all, which is good for us. That way we don't have to go on support, go after support or have to charge for our shows. So as I was writing the story and copying and pasting this is what I came across. So this is just probably about 2-minute read. So I think you guys should hear this. If you haven't heard it, I don't know. You're going to hear it now. And the people out there who listen, this is going to play a part on your behalf as well, as you're about to hear. So here we go. The rest of the words will be not mine. They will be straight from Spotify for podcasters, I guess. Okay. Here we go. By the way, before I start, I did not pre-read this. I'm not the best reader. This is something I hate. I don't give a shit if it was in front of a large audience. It's just, I don't know. But I will do the best I can under the circumstances. Sorry. Just wanted to let you guys know, just in case I mess up. Alright, here we go. Starting... Alright, at 2:30, 5 seconds. Editing audio with the waveform editor. We got a green check mark, host it with Spotify, and then we got a yellow minus check mark saying this is what's available. Host it somewhere else. All right. Beginning in June, this tool will no longer be available on Spotify for podcasters, mobile, and web experts. And it says read more. Like, I would have to click it to read more. Let me redo this whole fucking thing. I literally just said mobile and web experts when I was moving my mic. I'm gonna keep this still. It's mobile and web experiences. Jesus. Alright, here we go. Let me restart this. Because I didn't, and I don't want to be doing that. And then all this. Just chalk this up as a fuck up. Blooper take one. Take one. Alright, this is take two. Beginning in June, this tool will no longer be available on Spotify for podcasters, mobile, and web experiences. Click here to read more. But we are. The waveform editor makes it easy to split and edit your audio. Use it to identify sections of your audio that you like to edit or to insert other segments like transitions and music. Note, the waveform editor is only available on web version of Spotify for podcasters. Accessing the waveform editor. Number 1, record your audio with Spotify for podcasters or add existing audio to an episode in the episode builder. Number 2, click the third dots next to the audio segment and segment you want to edit and select edit audio. Okay. Now, I said I wasn't going to talk, but I'm going to explain a little bit here. So, for the wave format editor is basically you record with Spotify, blah blah blah, anything, and how you would edit is you click the little dots up on the top and you edit your stuff in and out. Like if I wanted to say shkamushka, and then I start from right here saying, hey, what's up? My name's Jimmy James. Like, you'll just hear me say, alright, if I wanted to edit, and then you'll hear me say, hey, what's up? That's basically all that is. And it cuts so quick you can barely tell unless you do this for a living. Alright, let's get on to the next segment here. It's a short read. Alright, selecting and splitting your audio. Alright, now this is big to me. Click on any point in the waveform to move and pay. I'm sorry. This is why I need glasses. Click on any point in the waveform to move the playhead to the point. Click split or double click to split your audio and create new segments within the waveform. Tip: you can delete a split point by clicking the X at the bottom of the split line. Drag the split point to change where the split occurs. Double click on the title of any segment to rename it. Tap the plus or minus on the screen or press the plus or minus on your keyboard to zoom in and out of the waveform. Okay, that's basically zooming in and out to the waveform is how I'm talking right now. It'll come out on a waveform and I can zoom in and out and I can take out the littlest things like the ums and the ends and stuff like that, or me breathing in there. I try to get them out, but at some point you're just like, listen, deal with it. That's what a snare is supposed to do. Alright, next part. Deleting and restoring segments. Delete segments by clicking the trash icon at the top of the segment. Restore a segment by clicking the restore icon where the trash icon used to be. So if you hold the segment, it comes up a little trash that segment out, and you can restore it. But as I recall in Spotify for podcasters, if you are going to do this, regardless if it's in the main library or in the episode, no matter if you delete it or not, the whole thing will still be there in the main library. Unless you permanently delete it out of the Spotify, then it's gone, or it goes back to wherever you recorded it from. So my little advice to you guys, if you're just starting out, don't delete your stuff just because you have it on Spotify. I would wait a little bit or get some memory. But like I said, in June, this is the last part. Saving your segments. Once you've made your edits, click save. You can save your changes into one segment or multiple segments. You can save up to 150 segments. I've been close. I've been up in the 80s. Your new segments will appear in your episode builder. Your original unedited file will still be in the purple library folder. Basically what I just said. If you selected the option to save as multiple segments, they'll appear as separate segments with the names you choose in the editor. So if you choose a name, let's say and I'm just picking out, let's say you just use regular recorder, nothing special behind it. Maybe it's Wave, maybe it's MP3, and it says The Jimmy James Show. That's it. That's what you name it. Well, time you upload it to Spotify, as of right now, it'll say The Jimmy James Show, and it'll probably say .wave or .mp3. So the reason why that was a big deal with naming stuff was back in the day when you listened on Spotify, each segment you listen to, you can see it would tell you what the segment was about, kind of like a mini description. So I would hope they would bring that back, and I know that Riverside.fm has that. I know you got to pay, which I hope they're working on something.
Alright. I don't know where I got this. It's 48 seconds long. But it's this next part coming up in between this Spotify thing that I did, and I never released it. I thought I did. I was just going through my phone actually to clean up some storage, some space, and I was like, what the hell is this breaking news thing? I could barely understand what it was saying, and it was definitely not from me. So anyway, also I wanted to add in this story, the Spotify thing. I did this, I'd say a week ago, and had it scheduled. I must have went into the site and unscheduled it by mistake, but I was gonna put something out for tomorrow. But anyway, I had the video, all that set up. I'm still trying to fix it since I switched everything to my SD card. So this is what I have. I hope you enjoy it. I can barely remember what I was talking about other than Spotify and how it's changing. And I know this is the first part of it, because the second part's coming very soon, if you guys don't know, which I think I'll be talking about it in the show here. Alright, enjoy the rest of this, and I guess take care of yourself and one another. This is Jimmy James saying peace out.
Thank you for tuning into NBC News. Tonight, we have some breaking news emerging from the New York State. Many residents have started to see spider cars and EXE cars begin to attack and kill adults and elderly people, showing no mercy whatsoever. In addition, there have been more reports of cars turning into one of these spider cars and EXE cars in other states and countries. These EXE cars strap the missing children in tight and enable crushers that were built inside them, killing them in the process, and their blood falls into a random hole found at the bottom of the car that is used to refuel their fuel tanks, gasoline tanks, and battery tanks, then throws out the corpses when done. This is Daniel, from the NBC News, signing off.
I mean, that's pretty much about it. And it says, can't find what you're looking for, contact us. Okay. Was this article helpful? Yes. So, if I didn't get on anything here, I said, okay. Video podcast. I'm actually clicking this. Video podcast on Spotify. Now, with me on this, I'm not a humongous fan. It's not because of the video part. It's because, it's a podcast, right? Okay. Maybe you do listen to me. Maybe I'm talking about a serious subject, and I'm not joking, and you want to see my reaction to it. It's just human nature. Most people, actually I talked with Nihan on this about texting. You don't get, I believe, we were talking, but this has always been on my mind, and he agreed with this 100%. I don't know if a lot of it got into the episode, because we had to cut like a little bit out for a personal reason, but anyway. What I was getting at is there's no emotion behind the text, so I don't know what you might be meaning, like what you're saying or whatever. It doesn't matter how good you are at body language. I am probably the best person I know when it comes to body language. I'm not saying that to toot my own horn, but yeah, you might want to see me on a podcast show. So, for right now, on this show, whatever I name this yet, which I actually just did a 10,000 character wording, not a raplet. I'm actually doing a story. The story is called, I didn't want to name it or say it yet, but the reason why I'm doing this is because I was thinking about doing this and reading it on camera, but then I'm like, I don't know if that's a great idea. One is because I'd rather just have the computer do it, and I can pick what kind of voice it is, and two, I can pick what kind of, like, is it narrating or is it storytelling? It could be newscast. There's so many different options for what I have. There's so many better apps out there also I could pick. I could literally go do a free trial and write the story I want to do. The story, I don't know if I have the title yet, but basically it's about a boy growing up in the future, but it's not, there's way more to it. I don't want to spoil anything. It's my story. I never really wrote a story before, so this is going to be like my first thing. I started writing it off, and I was like, fuck, I'm rhyming too many things, and I wasn't trying to. So I was thinking about, alright, I'll do a video about the story. It's kind of like, you know, what Hollywood celebrities do with their movies. You see a trailer, and then they go and talk about it, and they hype it up, and then you see the movie, and then you're like, oh, that was fucking shit, you know. But I'll probably watch it 7 or 18 more thousand times, because there's nothing else on TV. Even though, when I was growing up, and I know I sound like an old fuck when I say that, the old fuck. When I was growing up, we only had 60 channels.
Yeah, you had 6 channels. We had fucking 3 channels. When I was growing up, we didn't have a TV. When I was growing up, we barely had enough electricity to get the radio to work. All that bullshit. Well, listen. I'm not a baby boomer. I consider myself not a fucking millennial. I am like that asshole that's stuck in between all of this. I am definitely not next gen. Fuck no. I'm going to consider myself the evolved. We are the evolved. Anybody who was born from 1980 to 1985 are the evolved. That is my thing. So, alright, all bullshitting aside, I wanted to get more into the Spotify thing. I'm kind of like curious of what they're going to do, going with the Riverside.fm. I can also do video on there, and it's a lot easier, but I have a brand new camera which I want to use. So, what should I do? Should I do video? Or should I do just have the computer thingy read you? It's not really. It's the AI guy, but it's the better one. I have one where it's more of a storytelling AI, and I think I'm going to go with that. But I do want to give you guys like a little preview of it, so I guess that's what I'll do next. So here we go. Here's a preview of my, I guess, storybook. I don't know how long it is yet. I just started coming to me as I had so many. I had 5,000 characters, then I had 5,000 more that automatically gave me. I'm like, what else? What am I going to fill this with? So I just started saying, alright, I'm going to do a story. It's not like something I was thinking of ever. I was thinking of doing it, but not like this. But I think it's pretty cool because it plays a part on us today, us yesterday, and us in the future. And yeah. It's the boy. And another thing that occurred to me when I was doing it, I was like, I hope people don't think like I'm copying the creator, because it's nothing like that. It's very far fetched for me to be doing a story, but the shit that comes out of my head. Anyway, regardless, I mean, yeah, it's like, oh, I can charge you guys, I can make you pay a subscription to listen to my story. Listen, if this story plays well and it's just a very raw, it's not like I'm sitting there putting super amounts of time behind it. But since I write all this bullshit with raplets and half of it comes out wrong because I don't go back and double check the grammar and all that, you hear sometimes things that are wrong or said wrong, and you know, I appreciate everybody that listens. I see that there's plays and listens like almost right away. I know some of this, all my episodes go to YouTube, not video. They just go there, and it's just my thumbnail, and you just hear that. I appreciate you guys who listen on there too. I wish you listen on Spotify. So if you're on Amazon right now or Apple, if you could just go over to Spotify, seriously, it should take a second, even if you don't have an account, like do a Google one or just create an account and just go to me, you know, the Jimmy James Show A to Z, copy the link and just follow. Now, in order to rate me, you can't just rate somebody right away. What I would normally do, which I used to do, I would hit the buttons, the little 3 buttons, and mark as played. But what I do is, like, I'll play the beginning of an episode or a trailer, and then I'll play another one, and then I'll do, like, the trailer and mark as played, or the first episode mark as played. Then I'll rate it. And you can rate it whatever you like. So you can have been listening to this for a long time and be like, alright, well, I think he's, you know, he's not 5 stars, he's 4. But let me tell you what happened. I got about like a little bit left because I'm running a little long with Spotify. It really pissed me off. with Spotify. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say Spotify. Yeah, I'm right. Spotify. My ratings, fixing the mic. My ratings were like just shot to shit, and I'm like, why? And I'm putting all these things together too. So now I have so many things. I don't know which one's my show. So my ratings are 2.6. That's 24 people. And trust me, I can probably name you 4 to 6 people that's going to make that drop that bad. I was always 4.9, 5.0, 4.9. Something happened. And all of a sudden, I'm down at 2.6. Like, seriously? Anyway. And listen, if you rated me 1 star because you didn't like my show, I give you respect. I respect you. I respect you and your opinion. But if you're going to do it just to be a dick or something like that, then, I mean, whatever. You do whatever you like. There's another thing I wanted to talk about real quick, and it's about that, and that's it with that. You listen to my show, and you know who I'm talking about, and I'm not getting into anything here. You wanted to come on the show, and I was like hesitant, not because of what, don't get me wrong, no problem, come on the show, that's great, but to come on the show and talk about stuff that, number one, I don't even talk about, because I wouldn't want to air out anybody's like personal shit. Like, you don't hear me coming on here. I didn't tell you guys about, I told you I had the toothaches back, yeah, but I'm like, my tooths hurting, my legs hurting, my back. Last night I woke up and this is true. This is all true. I swear to God. Last night I woke up in screaming agony. I did. I woke up, and all I remember, I'm sure maybe some of you dealt with this. I woke up and I just remember screaming, and I was on the floor. I don't remember how fast I got on that floor, but I had cramps in the back of my calves on both sides, and I'm like, I was screaming. And I know what you guys are thinking: potassium, banana. I know. I dealt with this heart thing my whole life. I was eating a lot of pretzel peanut butter bites and a lot of salt, and I think that's what did it. My legs were fucking swollen, like before it happened. So I was keeping my legs up. My legs are not, they're a little still, I'm looking at them now, they're still a little swollen, but not as bad. I just hope to whoever made the universe, we as a species do not go through that again. Okay, it's one thing to get cramps when you're awake, but when you're dead sleeping and you're just jolted out of a sleep with cramps. By the way, and I say that, and I'm not laughing at anybody, whoever goes through that and has to take that medicine, the cramp and the potassium, I know my pops goes through it. He actually said one night I wasn't here. I was actually with the person I was just talking about, but I wasn't here, and he went through it and he was screaming, and I'm like, jeez, like I'm like just thinking, like, how loud were you? You know. No, I was honestly, I was sincere about it, because I've had everybody's had cramps before, but in the nighttime when you're fucking sleeping, and for me to jump out of bed, like I said, I didn't jump, I just rolled out of the bed. I remember shit was spilling all over the place, and all I know is my mom woke up, because it had to be late, and she's like, are you alright? And I'm like, one, I don't really talk about my mom. You guys know, I've said some stuff about my mom, but I'm not that type of person. I'm gonna sit here. If she was a stupid fucker, or if she was really smart, wouldn't talk about her like that. It's because I'm not that type of person. Trust me. I would love to say some shit, but I'm not. I would never do that. And by the way, I was just about to end this, and my father was on the phone with my sister, and I said, so I guess you haven't listened to my podcast in a while. And she goes, I don't listen to anybody's podcast. I'm like, yeah. I didn't say this to her. I'm like, yeah. I'm like your brother. Like, you can't listen. The only, I literally, every year, I'll do, a little thing for her birthday, because it's December 16th, so, I don't listen to anybody. First of all, I'm not anybody. I'm your fucking brother. Anybody is some guy at your office is like, hey, I'm doing puzzles, and I'm doing podcasts now. Yeah, so me and the three cats, we're calling it the Puzzle Pussies, yeah. That's a good name. Don't take it. I might take it. Alright, I'll be right back after this for whatever the fuck I was talking about. No, I'll be right back. Jesus Christ, I was wrong. Jesus Christ. Fucking guy's crazy. Hey guys, what's up? This is Jimmy James. I'm recording right now, and I don't understand what's going on. Fuck.
The year is 2023, and Sam is a journalist for the Daily News, an online news platform that covers various topics from politics to entertainment. Sam has always been passionate about journalism, ever since he was a kid and read his grandfather's collection of newspapers from the 19th and 20th centuries. He admired the reporters who risked their lives to expose corruption, injustice, and war, and he dreamed of following in their footsteps. But Sam soon realized that journalism in the 21st century was very different from what he had imagined. Instead of pursuing the truth, he had to chase clicks and views, and compete with hundreds of other news outlets that flooded the internet with sensationalized, biased, and sometimes false stories. He had to follow the agenda of his editors and advertisers, who cared more about profits than public interest. He had to use social media and algorithms to attract and retain audiences who had short attention spans and low trust in the media. He had to deal with trolls, bots, and hackers who tried to manipulate, harass, and sabotage his work. Sam felt frustrated and disillusioned by the state of the media industry, and he wondered if there was any hope for journalism. He decided to do some research on the evolution of media and news outlets, hoping to find some inspiration and guidance from the past. He opened his laptop and typed "History of Media and News Outlets" on Bing and clicked on the first result. The first printed news appeared in the late 1400s in German pamphlets that were often highly sensationalized. The first newspaper written in English was the Weekly News, published in London in 1621. Newspapers became more popular and influential in the 18th and 19th centuries, especially in the United States, where they played a role in the American Revolution, the abolition of slavery, and the Civil War. Newspapers also faced challenges such as censorship, libel, and competition from other media forms, such as magazines, radio, and television. Sam scrolled down and clicked on another link, which took him to a website that showed the history of media in a timeline. He saw that in the 20th century, media became more diverse and complex with the emergence of new technologies and genres, such as film, photography, comics, music, and video games. He also saw that media became more global and interconnected with the development of satellites, cable, and the internet. He learned that some of the major events that shaped media in the 20th century were the World Wars, the Cold War, the Civil Rights Movement, the Vietnam War, the Watergate scandal, the fall of the Berlin Wall, the Gulf War, the 9/11 attacks, and the Iraq War. Sam was fascinated by the rich and varied history of media, and he felt a surge of admiration for the journalists who witnessed and reported on these events. He wondered how they managed to overcome the obstacles and dangers they faced, and how they maintained their integrity and credibility. He decided to read more about some of the most influential and respected journalists in history, such as Nellie Bly, Ida B. Wells, Ernest Hemingway, Edward R. Murrow, Walter Cronkite, Bob Woodward, Carl Bernstein, Christiane Amanpour, and others. He clicked on another link, which took him to a Wikipedia article about news media in the United States. He learned that in the late 20th century, much of American journalism merged into big media conglomerates, owned by media moguls like Ted Turner and Rupert Murdoch. He also learned that with the advent of digital journalism in the 21st century, newspapers faced a business crisis as readers turned to the internet for news and advertisers followed them. He read about the challenges and opportunities that digital journalism brought, such as the rise of citizen journalism, blogs, podcasts, social media, and online video platforms, as well as the issues of fake news, media bias, information overload, and cyber attacks. Sam closed his laptop and reflected on what he had learned. He realized that media and news outlets had changed a lot over the last 180 years, and that they would continue to change in the future. He felt inspired and motivated by the legacy and lessons of the past, and he decided to apply them to his own work. He hoped to make a positive difference in the world through his journalism and to honor the tradition and values of his profession. I hope you enjoyed my story.
Oh, I'm adding this in right after. I just wanted to tell you, I just passed by like 200 or 300 listeners my all-time listens in 30 days. Thank you. Honestly, really, thank you. I literally, I literally wrote this down, and I just had this feeling. I said, I know I can start doing better out there, and I never said to myself or set a goal saying I'm going to see if I can outdo my plays in 30 days or anything like that. I just happened to look and I said, wait, how could I have more listens now than I did in almost 4 years of doing podcasting? And that is all because of you guys. So thank you so much, and thank you to anybody who listens to me and maybe shared me. I thank you's not enough, other than it really means a lot to me that you would even listen. I really don't have any other thing I could really think of. I'm just very humbled, and I never thought I would surpass my listens. Just if you want to know, on Spotify it was at like 54. I don't have it right in front of me because I'm using Spotify to record this. Is like 5,400. I think I'm at like 58 or almost 6,000 now. It's crazy. I can't believe that in 30 days I went way over that, and I believe that has a lot to do with TikTok and the people I associate myself with. And I'm going to give a big shout out to everybody that has listened, followed me on Spotify or any platform they're on. Thank you, and a real big special shout out to the content creators crew, because I know they must have shared my show because I've done it with them. I've seen them and I've heard them share my show. So for everybody in there, thank you to the bottom of my heart. This means so much that I actually beat a goal I wasn't even trying to beat. I was trying to do something, but I didn't think it would be to that degree of going from that many plays in 30 days. It's remarkable to me. Thank you so much. Much love, Jimmy James.
And so the boy, given up for dead, returns to his people, to sacred Sparta, a king! Our king, Leonidas! It's been more than 30 years since the wolf and the winter cold. And now, as then, a beast approaches, patient and confident, savoring the meal to come. This beast is made of men and horses, swords and spears. An army of slaves, vast beyond imagining, ready to devour tiny Greece, ready to snuff out the world's one hope for reason and justice. A beast approaches. It was King Leonidas himself who provoked it.
The Monday, what is it? Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays? Give or take a day. So I want to do these podcasts 3 times a week, which is just, mentally crushing. I'm spiraling out of control, going into the pits of nowhere. Anybody want to come with me? I decided to take a detour. Let's see. So I've been smoking cigarettes since I was about, 9. Getting back in the podcast a little bit. Do you think it's probably better to have somebody on the show with you? Yeah. Sometimes I just want to come on here and vent. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. She want to put me on their comedy. I'm like, comedy? This show is social and whatever the fuck, social studies I had. Or what was it, social? It's not comedy. It's A to Z, it's about everything. We can get funny on here, we can get really fucking loopy funny. Like I got a fucking crew working over here. Yeah, Jeremy, hit the button. Hit the button. Alright. This is Matthew McConaughey saying, check out Jimmy James while I drive away my Lincoln. Yeah. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jimmy James, and I'm here to tell you one more freaking time. Fuck it. Let me do that again. This is Jimmy James telling you one more fucking time. You must now, according to Spotify, can you please go to Spotify and follow me? Because that's the only way I can even get a red cent. Please follow me. I'm begging you, follow me. I got no food on the table. Follow me. They won't pay me anymore. They said I need a certain amount of followers on Spotify. Please go follow me. I'll do anything. Anything you say, I'll do it. But, alright, I'm just getting a little carried away. If you can, yes, if you can, please follow me on Spotify. I'll put the link in there. Oh, and also, goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah.